As you guys might know or remember from me referencing this in the past, history is not something that I particularly enjoy. I like to learn about history that's relevant to me. I may ask somebody, hey, what was your job experience like on the years before I got hired? That's a personal history kind of anecdote. Or say, people who have been living in this city for longer than I have. I like to ask them, what do you remember about a certain decade or something like that, if this is an older person. That kind of history, modern history that's local and relevant to me, I can learn about that. However, when it comes to broader history, like say world history, historical figures and stuff, I find that topic super dull, super boring. The only way I'm interested in learning about it is if I'm going to debate an ideal from that time. Let's say that people used to value having their own animals in their own homes, whatever homes might have looked like. I can get behind that. Like, I can discuss that type of thing and maybe discuss how it is that we fell off that value. Sometimes I randomly look at the date, and for some reason I get hit with this weird thought about how, because I was a person born in the 1900s, I got to experience the previous century, but also the previous millennium. So the first millennium would be from the year 0 to 1000. So the people who were alive from 900 and then past 1000, what were they looking forward to? What were they excited about? What did it signify to them to turn into a new millennium based on the Gregorian calendar? Was it a big deal? Was there anything that they were able to think about or incorporate or something like that? What was people's way of thinking like? I tried to look it up, but honestly, I don't know how to look that up really, because I don't care for history. I haven't developed research skills for that type of thing, so I'm not even gonna lie. The way that I performed the search was, what was it like to be alive from 900 to 1000? Or, no, I'm sorry, I did 900 to 1100, something like that. And then I modified my phrasing a little bit, and then I saw some things that said there's nothing notable between the years 0 to 1000. And then in the comment section for that forum, someone left a comment saying, well, you need to brush up on your history because you need to investigate. It started bringing up the Bible and other things that happen, which I always looked at the Bible as a form of a historical document. In general, I think of it as, okay, I got to experience the second millennium and now I'm living in the third millennium. So what will people in the fourth, fifth, sixth millennium wonder about us in this current millennium, assuming that we make it that far as a species? So my other question naturally was going to be, what did people wonder from the year 1900 into 2000? But if there's something that I can remember about the year 2000, is that people were, of course, excited about the fact that we're entering a new millennium, also a new century. But did anything have significance at that time? I want to say that the evolution of technology was the thing. So I wonder, in the year 900 to 1000, what was the technological thing that was happening that people were tripping over back then? Between 1900 to 2000, we had pretty good technology already, if you ask me. But I also wonder, for those people from the previous 1000 years, what was the thing that they were really proud of technologically? Because I know for us, things that we could be proud of would have to be airplanes. I think that's an extreme achievement. Going to space, I think that's an extreme achievement. I guess for me, I'm most impressed by our ability to get around in the globe. Because another question that I have had is, Let's say that for some reason you're born in a very small, isolated nation. You lived there pretty much your entire life, but you do find out through books and media that there is a broader world out there. Like the planet is so much bigger. How do you feel about that? Like, what is it like to be a person who lives in that place? Would they feel trapped? Or would they be okay with living in that little space of land that they have, you know? Because I think about that a lot. I'm like, I don't have enough life, I think, to be able to explore all of the continental United States. But even if I did and I had the money to do that, I still wouldn't be covering a broad aspect of the world. There's still so much more to look at. See what I mean? So I wonder if people from centuries ago who were limited to their space, like confined to their nation's space, I wonder what their sense of adventure was like, especially considering that getting from point A to point B took so long. So as someone from the second/third millennium, it's like, how much different is life now from what people were going through back then? What were people aspiring for? What were their goals? I also got to consider that even the way we spoke was different. So that on its own would have probably affected the way that we thought. Because I know that some thoughts are enabled better depending on which language you speak. At least from what I'm told of people who learn things like French, and even Japanese would be another language I'm told a lot of, which is, oh, the way that they phrase things is kind of funny, but it's a way of thinking. Thought I would throw this out there because maybe one of you guys will drop the magic comment that's going to help me put my thoughts together on that and maybe look it up better and answer my own question better. Because at least I'm happy that the curiosity is there, but I'm just not happy that I don't know how to further myself in that topic. It's nothing important, but it's just something I'm interested in finding out about. Because sometimes I look at modern days and I'm like, we expanded so quickly in the span of just a couple of decades. And just like that one video, which I forget the title of it, but I remember I was expressing that I was overwhelmed by how quickly things change at work, and how it's not that I cannot adjust, it's just that there isn't a smooth transition from one era to another. So I kind of resent that. I remember that someone in the comments said something about, it looks like you get stressed out about rapid change. And I'm like, well, yeah, everybody should. But I'll let you guys take it from there. But to conclude, there's also the element that the people who were born like between 2000, or I guess I should say 2001 and beyond, you kids do not know about the previous century nor the previous millennium. You gotta hear about that through us, but eventually those of us from the previous millennium and the previous century are gonna die out. So like, what kinds of anecdotes are going to be taken from that time? Because we all know that the Cold War, for example, is probably something that's going to be discussed. The World War II is probably something that's going to be discussed in the future. Political events like that. But I just wonder in general, what ideals are going to survive that far? And which of those ideals have existed this whole time?